Prepare to embark on an unforgettable voyage through time, where valor, innovation, and perseverance reign supreme. This is the USS Midway, where history takes flight. The construction of USS Midway began in October of 1943, and it was commissioned on September 10, 1945, shortly after the end of World War II. Join us on a captivating expedition through the decks and corridors as we retrace the footsteps of the brave men and women who served with dedication and valor. Years ago, I had bought tickets for David to go see the Midway, and then the pandemic happened. Well, you know how things happen. You get busy and you don't get back to things, but I finally did, and here we are, finally visiting the USS Midway. The first place you go is onto the hangar, where there's a gift store and cafe and so many different aircraft to explore. David knows an awful lot about the aircrafts, as you will soon hear.
And here we have fuel tanks for F-4 Phantoms. F-4 Phantoms is one of the fastest planes ever, big during the Vietnam era. And these tanks would be under the wings of the plane, and they could actually be dropped. They're actually disposable, or they can be used over again. But it gives the planes a longer range. Here we have a place where large items like aircraft engines can be lifted up. They're stored at the very bottom because they're heavy, so it's kind of like ballast for the ship. And they're brought up with a little elevator here. They get worked on downstairs and they get attached to the planes up here. This may not look like it, but it's an elevator. These big doors behind me open up. The planes come off of or out of the hangar. They unfold the wings. They bring them out here onto this platform right here. And you see the cables here, which lift this elevator up to the flight deck. And that's how they bring planes up to the flight deck. You'll see on this helicopter that the blades are foldable. All of the wings on all of these planes and all of the rotors on the helicopters are foldable to fit more planes on the hangar deck. So if you've got a carrier plane, it means the wings fold up. This is an F-4 CORSAIR, which is an absolutely beautiful airplane. One of the most amazing fighter jets of the Pacific War. If you've ever seen the Black Sheep Squadron show, it's all about these, and they're just amazing. Here's the machine guns coming right off the side here, and there it is. It's a single-seat fighter. Amazing plane. Here we have a plane that's a dive bomber. That's the bomb right there. It dives towards the ship and then lets the bomb go and then moves back upwards. This ship was named after the Battle of Midway, which was the turning point of the Pacific War, the equivalent of Stalingrad or D-Day in Europe. And it was such a ferocious battle that the Americans won at Midway, which turned the tide of the war. Up to that point, the Japanese had nothing but victories. But a whole bunch of things happened, so we're going to go look at a movie right now all about the Battle of Midway.
But war, no matter how noble, demands too much.
Would be permanently squatting through here just to protect my head. I have to wear a helmet. Here's a depth chart with all the nicknames of all the pilots.
There is so much to see on this ship. It's unbelievable.
Squadron has its own ready room. It's sort of where they hang out. It's their living room. It's their briefing room. It's where they do all those things.
I recommend that you give yourself at least an entire afternoon to explore this ship. We spent 4 hours and we didn't see anywhere near everything.
So the Midway was in service between 1945, right at the end of the war, through 1991, so about 46 years.
I really wonder how everyone found their way. There are so many corridors, so many doors to go through, so many different sections of the ship, as you can see right here. Coming into the mess deck, let's just say they were well fed. Check out the menu, better than what we get at home sometimes. And there's always an empty table for the missing man. Make sure you're wearing really comfortable walking shoes because you're going to go up and down a lot of stairs and you'll be doing a lot of walking, but it's worth it. From the colossal flight deck where the thunderous roar of aircraft once echoed to the intimate spaces where sailors lived and worked, you can immerse yourself in an authentic experience that will leave you in awe. As you stand on the very decks that once launched vital missions and defended freedom, you'll understand why the USS Midway has earned its place in the hearts of countless Americans. After being commissioned, the USS Midway primarily served as a training carrier. It played a significant role in the Vietnam War and in Cold War operations and humanitarian missions. So despite not being active during the war, she played a major part in lots of other operations and is very, very important to American history. Thanks so much for joining us on this tour of the USS Midway. Now you can do your part. Help us to soar. Please subscribe today. We'll see you on the next adventure.